everybody, it's Christine. It is day 15 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. Let me show you the sketch real quick. It is by Rebecca. I'm not even going to try to pronounce her last name because I think it's Verbanic, but hopefully I got that right. And what she has, she's got 4x4 photos here, 3 of them. And then these are 4x4 as well. Little squares, like 2 patterns of each one or whatever. And then like some embellishment things kind of mixed in with the title down here. Now here's my tricky part. I want to do these photos. It's from Mother's Day. It's my mama. And then the little bundt cakes I got her because she loves these things. And then there's me and her. And unfortunately, this is my 4x4 measuring deal here. This is the only one I can kind of cut down. Because if I cut these down, I lose her food and I lose the gift. So these are going to stay 4x6s. So I may cut this one down to 4x4 so I can work with it and somehow make this work like this. And then what I was kind of thinking was I was going to use my little, I have this little drawer with a few 6x6 pads in it. I think I have some 8x6 too or something like that. But I thought, you know what, I haven't used this in a while, so I'm going to pull this out. And it's kind of got all these really pretty patterns. And I can put these together. And then I pulled a couple little random deals out of my stash here. Oh, and the stencil, I've got this Vicki Boutin's, I think this flower one's really pretty. So I think I'm going to use that one because I think it looks like the Sketches little things. And then I pulled out these Distress Oxides here that I think go with this collection here, like this little paper. I think that goes really good. And so I got a piece of white cardstock, and I pulled out these. These are Pink Fresh. They came from Hip Kit because it goes with this little green shade that's in here. So I kind of like all that. So this is what I'm starting with, and I'm gonna have to see what I can figure out here because, like I said, I'm a little bit, like these little squares and stuff are throwing me off, but I want to use these and I want to get this documented. So this is what we're doing. All right, let me cut these down. I don't know if I'm matting them yet because I'm not really sure. I'm gonna cut those down, and then I need to cut these into 4x4s. I need to pick my patterns for this and go from there too. What if I could use, no, it'll be too big, I think. Anyways, all right, let me do that and I'll be back on a second. Okay, gang, really quick check-in. I've gone through the paper pad and picked out little patterns that I think would be good together in their little pairs. So, because I'm kind of seeing, well, no, I guess she used, maybe I've messed up because I see actually 1, 2, 3, 4 patterns. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, I guess. So maybe I've messed up now. So now I got to call this back just a bit. I like this butterfly a lot. I like these 3. So maybe I'll stick with these. I don't know. I kind of like doing this though, because I may do that still. I may just do that anyways. I know she's got kind of the same pattern, but I think I'm going to do this because I kind of liked how I had that. Now I got to figure out what I just did. Y'all, I'm having a day. Yeah, we're going to go back to this because I kind of like these matching patterns together. Oh, that's kind of pretty. Maybe I'll redo that. Let me do that. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to cut these up and I'll be back on in a second. Okay, gang, so I have my little triangles made here, and now I'm just going to kind of piece together the patterns. I did pay attention to where in the sketch she had rotated, so you'll see there you got your up and down triangle pair on the bottom, and then there's a horizontal triangle pair on the top, and then you kind of alternate that on the upper right. And I'm really pleased with how this part turns out. I'm not going to lie, I think this looks cute. Now, I do have to kind of shift and move and stuff. I kind of pulled a ruler out at one point to try to measure, and then I just said, no, I'm not messing with that because it looked close enough, right? So I just kind of fiddle with this for just a second, and then I'm going to start gluing it down. And so I'm going to cut away when I start to do that because you don't have to pay too much attention to that. But I tried to make sure none of the patterns, thankfully, were like a specific direction per se, so I was able to kind of put them whichever kind of way. But she did have like dark and lights and stuff, so I tried to kind of follow that little guidance as it relates to the dark and the lights and stuff. So this is me gluing it all down. Now, I did decide after having done that. Oh, I did also trim my photos down too, by the way. I did trim I left the tall ones because I mentioned that. I really couldn't cut those down. And even after I did it, honestly, when I glue my square picture down, I end up covering up with some of my mama's food. I leave that food in there, by the way, because we went to Rockfish, which is like a Cajun seafood place here. And I don't know if y'all, I'm kind of interested. I know I've got folks kind of all over the planet. If anybody doesn't know what Cajun is, it's basically a Louisiana style food. And in this little restaurant here, they have seafood, right? So it's like she got some kind of blackened, I don't know, some kind of fish. It was something on special and had shrimp on it or something. Anyways, but she loves that place. So we went there for dinner, and she loves that. So wanted to have that in there. Of course, then there was her little favorite little bundt cakes over there. Now, here's the funny story, y'all. So my bonus dad is gluten-free. He can't have gluten. And I usually, when I get something for them, I'll sometimes get it just as a little surprise treat or something every now and again. And I'll always make sure to get him gluten. But this was her Mother's Day, so I did not get a gluten-free cake in there. And I told her, I said, Mama, just freeze the ones you can't eat because that's for you. So it isn't that I don't love him, but I have to make sure that she's treated special on Mama's Day. So okay, so here's what I've got going on. So I added those photos, and now I've got this stencil out, and in my head I'm going, okay, she had these little embellishment clusters, I guess, on the sketch, like these little pieces. I kind of imagine she's thinking they're embellishment clusters, and I decided instead of like an embellishment cluster per se, I was going to use this little stencil. Now here's where I got fancy, y'all. I have these brushes, or these, I call them the magic brushes. They're like, I don't know what they're made out of, hair or something. The lady sold me on them, so it was at a convention a few years ago, and I bought this ginormous set. I don't know what I spent, $50 or something. It's probably more than that, I couldn't tell you, but I bought them, and there's all these different little sizes. So this one here that I got with this green is like a little tiny round one. Y'all can see it. And then I wanted to use the little maroon color in the center, and then I want to use the yellow as the petals. Now, I almost thought about trying to make like an ombre or something, but I honestly, I wasn't confident of my own skills. My own template or my own stencil skills here, so I did stop doing that. Sorry, y'all, my cat's getting into my washi tape. But I used this other little T90 piece on the center of the flowers, and basically then we'll come in here with this yellow petals. I'm not going to tell you they're like perfect stencils in the sense it doesn't look like a perfectly executed flower, but that was kind of okay. I didn't really mind that because it's a stencil. So I'm going to go around and kind of where she had the little things is where I'm going to put the little stenciled flowers here. So I've already done the upper left, and I've done the lower right. Can you see that? You kind of can when I move my hand. I'm only showing you this little bit here too because it's on top of the pattern paper, and I kind of wanted you to see how that was going to work too. So it doesn't show up obviously as much as it does on the white cardstock, but you can still see it, so I'm okay with that. I will tell y'all, this took me the longest, y'all. I don't know. Well, obviously, I guess going back and forth from the different colors, I did just keep my brushes. I decided I had put the lids on at one point. I'm like, Christine, don't quit taking the lids on and off. Just leave them off for a minute. So just kind of going back and forth, and then figuring out where these things were going to go, and okay, do I need to put a flower here? So it just took me a few minutes. So I'm not going to make y'all sit through that, but you can kind of see my process here, right? So then after I do that, that's really the most work, was putting those little stencils down. This is, I think, the very end of that piece there, or the very end of me making sure my stencils are in the right place. So you can kind of see what I'm talking about with these pictures here. The lower picture there, it's kind of covering up the food. I haven't done it yet, but I will, and it's pretty close to that location. Now, I will also tell y'all, I have gotten that stencil ink all over the place. You can kind of see there's places where I've messed up and gotten boo-boos. I mean, right there in the middle, but that didn't matter. I wasn't too hurt about it. The only one that kind of hurt my feelings just a little bit was in the very lower left corner down there. I did get kind of some yellow in the way. So what I decided to do was do some little paint sprinkles with my maroon, because the maroon was like the least little bit of color that I had used. So I thought, I'll just do some sprinkles. And in hindsight, it kind of turned a little like, it's not as maroonish as I thought. It kind of turned more almost mauve, or like a darker purple or something. It's not really the purple that I thought. It's not bad. I mean, I don't want to say that, but it's not exactly the color that I envisioned. So like I said, I'm not unhappy about it, but I'm in love with that little color sprinkle. But it did kind of help with my my boo-boos and stuff, make it look a little more intentional, I think. So now you can kind of see my whole little get-up going on here with these flowers. And now I'm going to just organize the pictures. Now I will put the foam underneath the bottom picture. I'm going to organize. I keep looking at that sketch because I'm trying to make sure which one I've got going. I knew one of the photos was kind of shifted higher than the other, and I couldn't remember which one. I'm going to glue the bigger ones down, and then I am going to put foam behind that bottom picture. I'm not going to suggest to y'all that's the best picture either. It's a funny little selfie, and my hair looks like a crazy person's. I don't know what I got going on there. It's like in a comb or something, or a clip or something, and I look crazy. And I don't know, it's just kind of blurry. The lighting wasn't too good. I think we were sitting in my living room, but we didn't have a light on or something, and so it's a little bit not such great lighting. So it's not the best picture, but that's okay, because it's me and my mama, so it's fine. Yeah, here's where I got the foam. I'm going to stick it behind here. Let me see what else I got going. I think after that, I do get into my little stash stuff. Yeah, I showed y'all. But I don't use some of it. I'll pull out these flowers, these like felt flowers that were kind of a hot pinky purple stuff. Oh, here's where I'm trying to adjust these pictures. Y'all, these things stuck. Every time I turn around, something was sticking to this paper. I felt like my little white cardstock here was a little bit grabby. Okay, so I got to get I'm going to pull out my embellishments in just a second. Like I said, I pulled out these pink flowers. Oh, no, so sorry. I do the title first. I'm just going to call it Mother's Day 23, so it's not real fancy. I will tell you, I kind of mess up on day 23. I'm going to use a different font, I guess I should say. I actually don't have it on my desk just yet. I'm going to run over and get it. It's actually an Obed Marshall font, and it's real tiny little letters, and I kind of love it. Do you see those? Those are so cute, y'all. But I'm going to put those, and I'm going to actually put those straight initially. So Mother's is kind of tilted because the sketch showed it tilted. And at first I put day 23 straight, and then I thought, well, that looks kind of goofy, Christine. She's kind of got it at an angle, so go ahead and put that back at an angle. So I'm going to lay this here like this, and then I'm going to, I think I do it off camera. I don't think I do it on here. And also my 23 and all that's kind of going off to the side, and I'm going to bring all that back up underneath Mother's. And so it's going to get shifted just a little bit. I decided I didn't care for where I did that. It looks a little strange to me after I did it. So here's what I'm going to test. I'm going to audition these little flowers here, and I go, no, that's not going to work. That is the total wrong shade of pink after I get that down. And see, that does not look right. And it just messes up my stencil work up there. And I go, nope, we're going to put that away. But I do like these little, they're like little wood veneer that has foiling and some color on it. Y'all, I cannot remember what collection this came with. I remember it being a really beautiful collection. It's from a big maker too, but I just don't remember what it is. I've had it at least a year or so, so I'm sorry about that, but it's in my stash, so you know it is what it is. But it's these little, like, they're not hexagons, trapezoids? I don't know what this shape is, but it's real pretty. It's got these little gold foilings, and it's got those little colors. And I used 3 different little pieces there, kind of around the photos to capture where she had the embellishments around the photos. That's kind of what I did. And then I'm going to decide I need some sparkles. So I run over and get my little Queen & Company little selection here, and I'm going to put just a bunch of these little sparkles in all the little embellishment places. They kind of have these little, they're shaped like little, it looks like little flowers, kind of. They're a little etched, and it gives them a sparkle. I don't know how they make these things. It's not a crystal by any means. It's definitely plastic, but it gives it a little sparkle. Whatever they do to it, the little technique they use to make it. And it's kind of got this little gold sparkle on this pinky flower, and I think it's perfect because the foiling on the little wood things is gold. So that's all I'm going to do the layout, y'all. Thank you so much for watching and listening to my rambling and seeing my stencil boo-boos. Thank you, guys. Check out the playlist. Don't forget to do that. There's tons of people playing along, and by now I guarantee there's 150 videos. You're going to spend hours. It's a great month when we do these 30 days. And also check out my Instagram and do the like and subscribe, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye.